Good day, viewers. You are cordially invited to the Head to Toes channel. We're really excited to share with you today's topic, which is about 5 sacrifices you must make if you want to be successful. What is your greatest life challenge? Aversion to loss. You're programmed to think on what you're going to lose, rather than what you're going to gain. This is why achieving success is so challenging. It's frequently more about what you're willing to give up than what you're willing to accomplish to get the results you desire. We would all be successful if it weren't for the necessity to make sacrifices. Unfortunately, this isn't how the world operates. As usual, I'm not going to offer you an airy, cheerful, motivating pep talk. Instead, I'm going to give you cold truth. Either you make or don't make the sacrifices. Then you wait to see what occurs next in your life. But here's the thing. There's a catch. What appear to be sacrifices on the surface turn out to be investments when seen in retrospect. You give something away up front, but the return you receive is worth far more than what you gave up. For the victory, good old boring delayed gratification. That's all there is to self-help. You are aware of this. I'm merely here to serve as a continual reminder to you. Be willing to give up these things in the near term in order to win in the long run. 1. A certain amount of time has passed. I despised every minute of training, but I told myself, don't give up. Suffer now, and you'll be a champion for the rest of your life. When I was starting my professional career while working a full-time job, I used to get up at 5 a.m. practically every day. It was never one of my favorites. So, how did I manage it? I got up early since I didn't see any other option. I sacrificed time spent having fun in order to focus on my mission. I eventually discovered that sacrificing time wasn't really a sacrifice because I liked what I was doing. I don't remember the last time I binged watched a TV show. I don't force myself not watch a lot of television. I just don't because I want to do other things with my time. There's no moral wrong with it. That is precisely what is going to happen to you. You won't have to go out of your way to avoid wasting time. It'll happen when it's ready. When you find something you want to work on, fun tends to fade into the background. Work becomes more pleasurable. You don't have to entirely give up all forms of escapism and relaxation, but you shouldn't rely on them to make up for lost time. However, if you put in some effort up front, you will be rewarded with extra time in the long run. I don't have to get up at 5 a.m. any longer. I sleep till around 7 or 8 a.m. I work for 2 hours on certain days. Some days 14. I could hop on a plane and avoid working for a week or 2. I have complete control over how I spend my time. For me, the initial cost was well worth it. Consider whether it'll be worthwhile for you. 2. Feeling as if you belong. There are certain people who never go insane. What dreadful lives they must have. People who aren't plagued with goals and ambition make me envious. It must be good to simply blend in, go to happy hour with your mates, do the same thing every weekend and not give a damn, I say to myself. It must be nice to talk about the weather, believe politics important, and not have to examine how you spend each second of your day. Quiet desperation has a certain tranquility and advantage. It's something I miss from time to time. Overall, however, I choose to keep doing what I'm doing, which has an unavoidable consequence for me, and one that will also have an unavoidable effect for you. You won't be able to connect as effectively with others. As you grow, you'll start to believe that everyone else should be following your lead. The vast majority, though, will not. Attempting to change them will also waste energy. As a result, refrain from doing so. Regardless of what others may say, don't be scared to stand out and be yourself. Prepare to deal with the consequences as well. Are you more interested in being a leader or a follower? Do you wish to stand out from the crowd? It's all up to you. Standing out also has a positive side effect. When you're on the rise, a certain type of person will be inspired by you and flock to you. They won't take you seriously at first, but they'll want to pick your brawn afterwards. Accept them into the fold, and remember the same slogan. Others admire you, while others despise you. It's as simple as that. 3. Feelings that last for a short period of time. Delayed satisfaction is more painful than lifetime regrets. 99.99% of your issues stem from a desire to feel good in the short term. In the short term, you'll want to feel wonderful all of the time, but in order to achieve long-term success, you'll have to go through periods of your life where you don't feel good about yourself because you're objectively bad at the new talent you're attempting to master. It's insane. Your entire life consists of making this short-sighted transaction over and over again. Death by unending compromises, continuous hesitations, and tiny bad judgments that add up. You can get carried away with putting off your current enjoyment in favor of long-term aspirations, but that isn't an issue for you right now. Decide what to do with the problem after you've encountered it. This is related to the time issue. Set aside time and opportunity to stop and smell the roses afterwards. And much of what you do for short-term you, in the current now, isn't actual presence, awareness, or happiness. It's frequently a means of numbing oneself. Life gets increasingly challenging when you become engrossed in your current experiences. Because of your short-term emotions, you get stuck in a rut. You don't want to be trapped in a rut, do you? The more you stay stuck in it, the more short-term compromises you make, and the more nails you drive into your coffin. I may appear harsh and savage at times, but that's only because I'm telling it like it is. And I'm only willing to tell you the truth because I actually care about you. 4. All-around comfort. When you can't get out of bed in the morning, tell yourself, I have to go to work, as a human being. What do I have to complain about if I'm going to accomplish what I was born to do? The things I was born to do. Is this what I was meant to do? To remain warm by huddling behind blankets? Simply forget about having a comfort zone ever again. Stop setting it as a goal. Some individuals will respond with something like, in your life, you require some sense of stability and security. Mr. or Mrs. ad absurdum, it's obvious that you don't want to live a life with no stability. Having money in the bank, coming home to the same house, and forming a routine are all key parts of a happy life. You must, however, avoid prolonged periods of comfort, in which none of the following elements change. Worldview. If you haven't altered your worldview in years, it means you haven't learned anything new. Difficulties. You will never be free of issues, but as you progress in life, you will desire to have a greater number of high-quality problems. Confidence. There is never a good time for confidence to be stagnant. Your confidence should increase at some point when pushing oneself. At other instances, you should put your faith to the test by looking for evidence that contradicts it. Why do you have such a strong need for an endpoint? Why are you so adamant about things going wrong for you? All of my problems would be solved if I could only perfect this writing thing, I reasoned. That didn't turn out to be a good idea. As we rode away, there was no sunset to appreciate. What does it turn out to be? I didn't want one at all. As corny as it may seem, I just returned to the soil and began fresh initiatives, because the journey is the ultimate goal. You don't want to go to the beach, drink endlessly, have an unending cash account, or have no cares. You believe you do, but you are mistaken. Even after a week off, you're eager to return to work. In general, you wish to develop new initiatives and talents, ranging from tiny hobbies to large companies. You want to confront problems that stretch you but don't kill you, so that when you look back on your life, you can say, damn. How did I pull that off? 5. Your number one enemy. When we strip away the ego, we're left with what's real. Yes, humility, but rock-hard humility and confidence replaces ego. Whereas ego is manufactured, this form of assurance may be trusted. The ego has been taken. Confidence is something that has to be acquired. The ego is self-anointed, and its bravado is a ruse. One is bracing yourself, while the other is deceiving you. It's the distinction between toxic and powerful. Time. You're afraid of wasting time on something that could or might not work, but you're arrogant because you feel you're all-knowing, and powerful enough to figure out what's a good use of time before you try it. You definitely aren't, because by now, you would have chosen and stuck with something. When you feel like you belong, what happens if you don't? It's all down to your ego. Your unimportant feelings. Are your teeny tiny feelings going to get hurt? When I'm worried, I tell myself. That's all we're terrified of. Feelings that last for a short period of time. This one is pretty self-explanatory. Sacrificing your future self for your present self is only motivated by ego. Your ego wants you to cling to your identity because, deep down, your ego, monkey mind, lizard brain is uninterested in your self-actualization. It just cares about keeping you alive and safe so that you may have children. You must conduct a manual override on the system since uncertainty and overexertion of your prefrontal brain are incompatible with your biological aims. What exactly is the essence of your comfort zone? Your ego is telling you that you have the right to feel great for no reason at all. And your fear of venturing outside of your comfort zone, especially in situations where other people are involved and rejection is a possibility, is based on the erroneous idea that anybody is interested in what you're doing, which isn't the case. Personalities. Your ego-driven savior attitude leads you to feel that you can save others who aren't able to be saved. You're also arrogant enough to think you can outwit your environment, which you can't. Imagine being able to travel the globe without having to worry about your ego. This isn't to suggest you're insecure. On the contrary, you're confident. You don't have to constantly ping others to define who you are, so you can just be yourself and focus on what's important to you. If you liked this video, please don't forget to give it a thumbs up, and subscribe to our channel, and hit the bell icon to stay up to date.